Now, as for me, on the days that I do not film or edit on my phone, I typically always range under 2 hours, most days being just over 1 hour. And man, I already know that you're going to be able to do the same once you follow all of these tips, or even just some of them. So now with all that being said, let's just hop right into it. Tip number 1, grayscaling your phone. So what is this? This is turning all of the color on your phone to be gray. To add this feature to your iPhone, go to settings, then accessibility, then to display and text size, scroll down to color filters, toggle the button on, and then click on grayscale. The next feature is raise to wake, and it's kind of in the name. Once you turn the screen up, the screen is basically just going to turn on, or your phone is going to turn on. And by turning this off, it doesn't seem like it, but it's actually going to create a little bit more resistance. And the reason for why this is so effective is because normally when you have the setting off, you're going to take your phone out of your pocket and the screen is just going to be lit up automatically. You don't have to do any extra work. It's just going to be lit up, and you can see all the notifications, and then you're drawn into that whole trap. So now to turn off raise to wake, go to settings, then scroll down to display and brightness, then scroll down to raise to wake and toggle the switch off. Also, while you're there, the setting right above it is the auto lock feature, and that basically just allows your phone to automatically turn off when you haven't been using it for a while. So I'll just turn that on as well. I personally set mine for 3 minutes, and it's just an added addition that's basically gonna help save your battery on your phone and again make everything more efficient. A very overlooked feature is the nightlight option. So this is basically turning off all blue light from your phone. And if you guys aren't aware, blue light is very damaging to your eyes. It has an even higher effect and impairment with sleep than just normal light would have. So by turning this off, you're going to be having better sleep and your eyes are going to feel less, drowsy, all of that. This ties into the video because if you're really drowsy and sleepy all day, then you're not going to be able to be as productive as you can be. And so to turn this on, it's right above the auto lock setting, and you basically click on the nightlight, then from there you click custom schedule, and then for me, I believe it's 3:30 to 3:29 a.m. is like the schedule, like 3:30 a.m. to 3:29 a.m. Don't get that confused with like p.m. and all of that, because this is going to keep the nightlight on for the whole duration of the day. And then depending on how powerful you want this setting to actually be, you can customize the warmness. I have it around like the 80%, 85%, which is pretty strong, but I just feel like it's better on my eyes overall. Next thing I recommend changing is tap to wake. You do not want this setting on. Adding this resistance where you can't just simply tap on the screen and instead you have to actually click the side button, it just adds it takes away one more feature to actually turn the phone on. To turn off tap to wake is a very simple process. You go to settings, then go to touch, and then just toggle off the tap to wake. While you're there, you're also going to want to turn off vibration, because if you do have like games on your phone or any feature at all that uses vibration, it's just increasing the dopamine when you're on your phone. Next up is turning on silent mode. Most of you guys probably already know this, but on the left side of your phone is the switch. It's right above the volume key, and this basically just silences all notifications, and it's kind of self-explanatory with this one. Having noises alert you when notifications pop up, it's just added distraction, and it can overall interrupt your workflow. Next up is do not disturb, and this actually has a bunch of customizations within it that you can actually change to your own liking, and I'm just going to read this first on like how to actually get there, because I think that's important first and foremost. So go to settings and then type in focus at the top of the settings screen, and then from there click on do not disturb and toggle the button on. From here you can customize anything, once again depending on how you actually want it to be formatted. So you could have it with turning off, or silencing I should say, all notifications. This will make it so that when you do turn your phone on, no notifications are going to pop up. So then once again, you're not going to be as distracted to go to random apps that you weren't intending on going to. For myself, I have focus status on, and then in the lock screen tab, I also enable dim lock screen. We are going to have do not disturb on every single minute of the day, except for one. And once again, as I mentioned previously, it's that little trick from doing 3:30 a.m. to 3:29 a.m. This is a time that you should not be up. Unless your sleep schedule is like some weird thing, which you should then fix it, then you should not be up during this time. And because you have this on the whole day, your productivity efficiency is going to be maximized. Next up is utilizing widgets, more specifically the screen time widget. To do this, you're going to want to hold down on the home screen until all of the apps start shaking, and then at the very top left, you're going to see a plus icon. Click on that, and then you guys can basically add any productive apps so that you guys can easily access them whenever you need to. And then with the screen time integration, this is going to be a widget that allows you to at all times see your screen time. Rather than having to go into settings and check it yourself, you're always going to be aware of your screen time by adding this widget. Whatever productivity apps you like to use the most, I would integrate them into that. Now, arguably one of the most important changes on this list is to change the actual apps themselves. So for me, I deleted all of the major social medias such as Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, and now I basically only have productive apps on my phone, with the exception of YouTube, but for that it is mainly productive work on there as well. And I can do a whole separate video on why you should delete social media, as well as how to get yourself to that mental area to the point where you can actually delete it, because that is, the hardest part. But I think right now this could be a little bit extreme to some who are watching. So to start out, since we're all about small changes to then be big changes, we can actually make minor adjustments to the apps to make them less addicting. One of the best changes that you can make is simply logging out. Logging out of your account entirely adds about another 30-second resistance between you opening up the app by instinct and you actually having to think to go into the app. So for example, if I'm just blindly going on my phone because I really think I have nothing better to do, then I'm probably going to open up like Snapchat real quick. But if I then have that added resistance of having to log in, I'm really going to question myself and be like, well, is it worth it, doing this and that, and then having to log back in and then saying yes to all these notifications and all the other things that come with it. It's probably going to make you stop and think, what else could I be doing instead of this? You could also just remove apps from the home screen itself. Rather than deleting the whole app, you just be able to see it when you actually use the search function in the phone, which again is just added resistance. So you'll still have the app, it's just you can't actually see it in the home screen. Turning off notifications is another huge thing, and you just go to the notifications tab, as you guys may know, in the settings, and just flip off everything for that, because having no notifications is less triggers to get you actually on the app. Even if you do delete the app, like for me personally, I still have Instagram on my computer, but this is a form of resistance still, because normally when I'm on my computer, I'm typically on there just to do work. So I check Instagram about 2 times a week for 3 minutes each time, and then I just get right to work, because actually on the computer it's just like way less addicting. I don't know why. Again, don't think that you need to make all these huge strides initially. You should try your best, but slow steps are going to get you there much faster. If you guys don't want to use any of those methods, you guys could also download an app called Opal. It's like OPAL. And this is not a sponsorship, just getting that out of the way, because I only have 50 subs, so if a company was to sponsor me, like, hey, I'll take it, but what are you doing? The app is overall very simple to use, and what it does is it just disables the internet from your most addicting apps, and you can kind of customize what apps you want to keep on and keep off. Opal honestly has helped me a lot in the past. I really don't use it all that much anymore, because I have, made the strides with actually deleting the apps entirely. Highly recommend it if you guys aren't making those initial big strides, and if you guys just want to take baby steps to get there. Great app overall, so check that out if you want. That's all for this video, but don't click away just yet. If you guys want to learn the 4 most important things that I use to increase my productivity, click either here or here for that video, and I'll see you over there.